Hey guys, it's May 2019, and we have been showing a presentation to some different investors and some large potential clients, getting to know them getting to know us, and especially because the tools we have are very diverse. It's not a one size fits all. So it's been interesting to discuss with different companies to figure out how we can fit in and help them, right? Well, one of the companies I wound up giving a presentation to was Foxy Moron out of Mumbai a little while ago. Mumbai, India. Okay. They're about 11 years old, started from the ground up like anyone else. They've got a little over 200 people doing SEO. Okay. They mainly contact small businesses, right? Just try to get through. And when they get through to them, offer them a better website than what they got and offer them SEO, backlinking, standard package, stuff like that. Now, they do about $40 million a year in business. That's US dollars, 40 million per year. Their company right now is valued at about 900 million. Now, they went on a real strong fast track to get there, and a lot of it was just realizing they need a lot of manpower to do SEO. Now, when I did the presentation with them, I learned two things. Their takeaways for me that were really interesting. One, these guys are not geniuses. They're cool, they're interesting, they're excited about doing what they do, but they didn't know more about SEO than the average guy. They were asking typical questions that anyone would ask, no great insights. I was really amazed. And the second thing, takeaway, is that they're doing it all manually, one at a time, totally manually, one client at a time. Blew my mind. So I got around to thinking, because I was chatting with some of our guys and chatting with some other guys and even some investors. I'm not going to say who, but I will say that somebody just wants to make an earnest payment of 15 grand if we set something up like earnest money, basically to say, here's 15 grand to help you just complete what you got going. And just keep us in mind. That way, if you go to do some work later on with the, in the industry, keep us in mind. And of course, it's something that we're going to consider doing, because why not? But yeah, there's nothing weird about it. No, nothing bad. No politics, no religion. Okay, no other stuff. Having said that, no porn. I don't want to do any kind of websites like politics, religion, porn, weapons. I'm not doing that. Anyway, okay, having said all that, let me explain where we're going next. Because what do we need to become a company like this? We have all the internal strength that we need. The tools we have, the designs we can create, the fact that we can automate variability, we are at the top of our game. We can automate on-page SEO throughout massive stacks, right? Like 4.5 million web pages spread across 110 websites in 15 minutes. We can affect the SEO on. This company cannot do that. They have no single platform, no single CMS, no single structure, no single framework for all their clients. They're just doing it one at a time. And that's why they have 200 SEO guys. They don't have a choice. Okay. So here's what I found. A company like that wants to put money into us and earn a share of what we're making, but why? So they can really start buying into our company, especially before it becomes big. And we don't want them doing that. We don't want anyone buying into our company for the express purpose of, learning what we're doing from the inside out and sort of absorbing us in the process. No, we're not interested. I'd rather run with guys like you, as we have been doing, developing, helping you guys with tools along the way, but mainly allowing you guys to co-op into whatever we're creating that put us as far along. We are now 2 steps away from being competitive at this level. One, we need a sales crew, the kind of guy who calls companies one after the next, 10 per hour to 15 per hour, and talks to them and shows them what we can do, shows them through a demo. We need a team of people calling who earn commissions on sales. Okay, that's one team we need. Second team we need, backlinkers, right? A backlinking crew. Now, when it comes to the calling, I already do that. I already handle the calls, except I don't call out. I take inbound calls. I get them and I chat with clients, and I can teach a calling crew how to call out and show presentations. It's not hard. The second thing, a backlinking crew. We've got websites of our own that can easily benefit from a backlinking crew. let alone the fact that most of the companies we want to onboard want to do backlinking, even if they don't know what that means. And think about how cool it is in our case. What if we're doing an industry with a bunch of, whether you take HVAC, roofing, electricians, plumbing, flooding, locksmith, GDR, anything, right? If we go backlinking through our structure and add in backlinks from the rest of the internet to some of that, then all those sites share the link juice and the rising tide raises all ships. So if you take a bunch of professional companies spread across the nation, part of our backlinking structure will be to have partnership backlinking, meaning visit our partner in these other areas kind of thing. It's not something front and center for clients to see, but it is something that knits them together and makes them so much easier to care for as a group. So let me walk through this. I got to walk through this from the beginning so you see the model. I want to make sure you guys see the model so I can explain to you where this is going. So first of all, we take some website like this one. This is an HVAC website. It's a nice one. I'm sure I've shown you guys, right? Now, what do we want? We want to give this to a sales crew and say, here, start calling a bunch of HVAC companies. Here's the HVAC companies, and show them this website and, talk to them about how cheap it is, what they can get it for, and how they can access it, and what we can do to help them out, including backlinking. Why? Because we're going to form a backlinking crew with this project as well. We need those two groups, the callers and backlinkers, and guess what? That'll open up a lot of dialogue, right? And in some cases, the possibility for multiple sales. Now, so far that sounds vague, and it is, but let me show you where this goes. Where are the leads? On the sitemap, take a look at this. Bob's Heating and Air, right? In Cherry Hill. He's lead number 1, okay? Let me see if I can make this bigger, right? And then we have some other guy. Bob's Maintenance Service. Whoa, got a little too big. All right, here we go. Bob's Maintenance Service in East Hanover, and he's lead number 2, right? Boding's in Trenton, he's lead 3. How many leads have we got here? Something like 14,000, okay? So even if one guy's calling per hour, he can call 10 guys, say, to 15. That means in a day, he can go through about 100. He'll dial 100. Most will hang up quickly. No, thanks. But a few he'll get into that conversation with. And he can sell 1, 2, 3, 4 websites to any one of them, just depending on how the conversation goes and how much the guy on the other side triggers on certain ideas. Okay? So that's step 1. That just kind of makes the point. Now, here's the thing. Because these are numbered, we know who they are if they come visit the site too, right? So let me just show you where this is going, because this is so far along that one company will drop 15K if we decide that we're going to put this thing together just in earnest money to say, keep us in mind. They're not even taking anything for this. This is nice of them. All right, let me walk through this. Now, all these leads are in this sitemap, but there's not going to be any visibility on the front page because they don't have our permission to show them, right? So there will not be anything there. What we did was no index the URLs so that Google cannot index them. That's okay. They're demo URLs. No one expects them to index, okay? Because we haven't put any time or effort in. But check this out. We robo-texted. I started robo-texting these guys. I robo-texted something like 7,000 of them. And got about 70 first-time visits, okay, so far. So I'm getting like 1 in 100 visitors, right? So of 100 guys I contact, 1 comes. You know how beautiful that is? It costs about $2 to bring each visitor to take a look, okay? That's the cost. $2, I'm getting an actual HVAC professional looking at the website. An HVAC website. So it's a match, right? I contacted 7,000 HVAC guys. We've got thousands and thousands and thousands of companies, kind of like 40,500 in the last stack. That's nothing. And we can just reach out to all of them. Now, that's the first point I want to make. 70 guys came. There's more to it. These guys came from all over the states. These are the guys that we're seeing. They're just all over the place. These are guys who picked up their phone when they got the text message and said, Let me take a look, and hit the link and visited the site. Okay. Here's what it looks like when you're looking at the statistics inside the system. Okay. Some guy in Brooklyn, New York, and that's the link. Premier Heating and Air Conditioning Inc., Long Beach. Apparently he's in Long Beach, Brooklyn, whatever. It's the area. 2610. So on our sitemap, that was the guy who's 2,610. Matter of fact, where is that? Since I'm so close anyway, right? Okay. Yeah, that's this guy. Premier Heating Air Conditioning Inc., Long Beach, 2610. That's the point I want to make. So when we contacted him, he came. You know what that means? That's a warm lead. Okay? That's a warm lead. He came on his cell phone, and he came and took a look. So guess who else came? This other guy, and this other guy, and this other guy. And we know who they are because of the entry in the sitemap, 2610, 1980, 627, 604. So, and this guy came back, 1980, May 6th, 7:09 a.m. That's visit one of 3 visits. And then he came back again, like an hour and a half later, okay? And that's visit 2. He's a really hot lead, don't you think? If somebody reached out to contact this guy and thank him for visiting the site, ask him if he had any questions, they could talk him through the rest of his sale. You see what I'm saying? These are warm leads, really warm, okay? Now, how does it look when one of these guys happens to go to the website? They click the link and go. Looks like this, okay? So, Perfect Air, Robbinsville, that's the name of the company, is Perfect Air, okay? And that's in Robbinsville, okay? Well, that's Robbinsville, New Jersey, okay? Their entry 604 on the sitemap, we happen to know that. Whoops. So on our sitemap, there's 604. Okay? I'm just tying it all together so you see where this is going. That's the one. Perfect Air, Robbinsville, 604, right? I'm just tying it all together. Okay? Now, here's the 5-minute video that explains how cool the website is. And a note, I started adding new details as these guys were coming in because I realized that some guys were asking interesting questions like, how can I trust you to build a site for me if you don't get the address right already off the bat? Then we're telling them, oh, we got your business information from Reference USA. So it may be incorrect. You can use this form to help us update it, right? So if the guy goes to get into it, then he'll be able to use the form and help us get into it. Now we got a price on here that's rock bottom. Why? I don't want the price in the way during these early sales, okay? I don't want them in the way. I want people to be able to buy one or more because they're cheap enough and keep that door open because the discussions always go in that direction. And it's neat. I'm going to show you a recorded call here pretty soon that you can download and listen to, that you can go and listen to. Okay? And down here, we've just got proof of concept, just size of projects, different sizes, different things happening in those projects, just to make the points, right? It really ties in what's going on so that people can understand the value of it all right? And the fact that we go back this far, 2008, all right? So now, there you go. And people can contact me, but it shouldn't be me. Because if I put out 1,000 of these by Robotext and 20 people want to call me, and the conversation's going to take like 20 minutes each, that's 7 hours I'm on the phone just talking to them. It would take me all day long to get through 20 calls, right? To get through 20 conversations. It shouldn't do that. And there should be multiple happening in unison, right? So we need to redivert those calls to salespeople, right, who can call out and receive calls in and answer questions for the guys and help walk them through the sale, okay? Now, the way they're going to wind up walking them through the sale, they're all going to have a coupon code that's unique to them, and they walk them over to website installer, show them how to click on the link for this particular template, show them where to go to buy it, and it's going to look like $895. But here, use this coupon code and hit the button to apply it, and it's $195. Okay, so it's a heck of a deal, right? See, the cold caller, if you were to say cold caller, the sales guy has a lot of power on the phone, and he can literally be on the phone while the guy fills in a domain name, one they already have or a new one, and they can buy the website and it will self-install in like 2 minutes with the guy's company information all over it on the domain they want. They will have this website on their own domain with their company information on it, just like that, in 2 minutes, okay? They can literally do that. Then they can log in and make little adjustments all they want, especially on the global variables page, so they can, change something that affects the entire website all at once, okay? So we just show them the videos, and when they buy, they get the email that gives them their admin panel access, CE panel access, link to the videos, and a way to contact us for support. Okay, there's going to be a support crew, right, for basic support threads, so they can just go through the threads. Now, most of these guys are pretty basic. They're not trying to do much. They don't want to get really technical, so we're able to keep it easy for them. Let me make some points. Of the guys who came, how many guys did I say came, by the way? How many guys came? It was like 58 plus another 20, right? And I just got to do more robotexting, but I'm going to make some changes to the page first. I want to put in some more information, especially about backlinking services that we do. I want to make that more obvious on the page and put up a link for how guys can get into that, okay? Now, that's like 78 people who came, right? Now, one of them's me. I came a few times anyway. Now, having said that, though, that's 78. Now, out of that 78, though, take a look at this. Half of them watched that video. That's this video right here. This is that video. It's unlisted. You can't even watch it on YouTube. You have to know the link to be able to see the video, or you've got the link this way. You click it because it's on one of these pages, like this one here. Okay. So every different company is seeing their information, and they can go up and they can walk through all these links and realize the whole website is about them. If I go somewhere else, the whole site's going to stay about them. Okay? Half the people are watching the video. We are really covering great ground. We are close to sealing a bunch of deals. We can start to do the math on how much it's costing us to get each lead. And that's if we didn't even have salespeople. But with salespeople calling, we can double, triple, quadruple that reaction rate. Okay, that's a big deal. It's a big deal. It's where most of the money is. The human conversation with each guy who's halfway there. Let alone all the guys who didn't even come. We got to reach out and contact them too. All right, so here's something you can do. You can go to gettrialleads.com/expansion. I think you'll need to put the slash at the end, or else it'll probably default to a broken page. So make it expansion slash. And guess what? This is a recording right here, this HVAC robotext caller. Okay, this is the first guy who called me. And then when he called me,
Bennett?
this guy is like clueless about websites. You just amazingly clueless. And you know what you're going to hear on this call? I mostly botched it. I was misunderstanding him. I wasn't thinking it through because I wasn't practicing calling guys. I just put my phone number on there. And like 10 minutes later, he gave me a call. I'd already sent out most of those leads anyway. But then I put my phone number on there thinking, okay, I'll put my phone number on there. And when the guy called, that was the first call. And I basically screwed up the call. You'll listen and you'll hear it. He's asking a couple of questions and I'm totally not talking about that. I'm talking about other things. Yet, you know what's funny? In 18 minutes, the guy bought 2 websites. Okay? Just like that. Really, this is easy. Making the money is easy. Getting a bunch of guys trained to sell this, guess how they sell it? Step 1, show how the guy looks on it. Show how beautiful it is and with the guy's information. Step 2, show them through an admin panel, right? Just show them what it would look like. See, everyone who comes, like whoever these guys are, this is the phone number we text to them at. So our calling crew knows that. They can even reach out through text to say, hi, I see you visited the website. Got any questions I can help you with? You can give me a call here. Literally, they can take it up right then and there on their own, straight there. And they get paid commissions on sales, right? By bringing sales in through us. Where's that go? I'll keep pointing it out. So that's one. What can we do for a second industry? Well, think about it. We can give our cold callers or our calling crew, the guys that we really want to create a sales force. We need a sales force to be big like Foxymoron, right? So we need a sales force. We gotta pay to get them lined up. So, interview a few companies, choose somebody, put some money in to help pay for the overhead and the fact that we're renting some of their guys, train them as a group, which isn't hard, walk them through some calls, walk them through some tactics, explain some stuff, and then they can start making calls right then and there, even the same day or the next day. But there you go, right? Then they can start making the calls and seeing what they can do. They've got the whole list right here to call through. The one guy can take the first 100 from 1 through 100. And then the next guy can take the second 100 from 101 to 200. The next guy can go from 201 to 300. If somebody happens to finish their list early, they can just ask, hey, where you guys at? Somebody will be like, oh, I'm on the 400 to 500, so go ahead and pick it up with 501, right? And then he can walk them through from there, okay? Now, at the same time that's happening over there, let me point this out. Here's the Main Roofer website. You know what's funny? Even though it's old, it's totally useful. This is still a high quality modern website. Even if it's not beautiful, this right here also has a massive sitemap with a massive batch of different company customers to call. Except guess what? We're going to have to swap out the sitemap listing with a real list of roofers instead, because that was all dummy information. The phone numbers and stuff are wrong. But we could update that and then robotext those guys. And the same thing is they come through projects. It'll be a different project than this one to keep them separated. Then the callers assigned to those guys can start calling those guys, and they can start cold calling everyone else when they're done with the warm guys. Okay? Literally not hard. So when we take a look at this though, and you open these, what do you get? Well, different companies with their own phone numbers. Okay, to contact. And all the pages talk about this guy and stay on this guy. All the way down. Google Map and everything's about this guy. All right. And then if we go to, just the next guy, we're going to show him what he looks like. It's all about him. It's all looking good. Phone number about that guy. Company name about that guy on all the pages. And everything is about him and where he is. Google Map and all. You know how easy it is for the sales guys to be able to sell these if they have access to this? And what if they're making a commission per website sold, and if they can sell 1, 2, 3, 4 to a single client because they know how to explain that pitch because we taught them? Why go for traditional backlinking when you can create your own extra websites and backlink yourself? That way you can be on the front page more than once for different keywords. Thousands of keyword combinations, be on each page as often as possible, so you can be more of those balls under the cups, right? More of the options for people to click on, okay? And same time all that's going on, we have other industries we can get our callers on too, right? Nursing home. So just to make the point, what if there were guys who were selling nursing homes, templates, right? Then what about them? They could very well be the kind of investor who says, hey, if you get this thing kick-started, then I would love it if you start working with us, okay? Not our competitor, us. And you suddenly understand why somebody might want to drop 15K if we get this thing up and going. Okay, I just showed you 3 industries out of, 300 we can build up to, 1,000 we can build up to, and we can go at this all day long. So let me show you a couple more things. One is this. We started to break down this entire project. Even when we were talking to the investors, we were taking the notes and explaining how this whole thing works, okay? Just so we could get our thoughts clear and make sure we're telling them what's going on. Right down to hooks that help the sale. Starts with a beautiful website. Easy to use admin panel. We're going to have demo websites up just so the guy can actually lead them to a link where they can log in to the admin panel, and the caller can walk him through a couple of the main features inside the admin panel so they can realize it is easy to operate. Way easier than WordPress. It's real. and it's on their website, not Wix, not whatever it is .wix.com, which never ranks, or whatever it is .wordpress.com, which never ranks, but actually their own cPanel, their own website, right? And all the little hooks for that. Little cool, neat stuff, okay? And it includes, so imagine if we're selling that website and it's top quality coding, it's HTML validated, page speed is maximized, comes with a cPanel, comes with free SSL, in other words, HTTPS, whole thing is included. That deal is something a company cannot say no to, especially if they can literally install the website and see that it's live and has their information on it even before the caller gets off the phone. So the caller can wait as a courtesy just to make sure they don't have any questions when they fill in the form when they're buying it. And of course, using the caller, the sales guy's coupon code to get the massive discount. And that ensures that the sales guy is going to get credit for the sale that day, right? Or sales if they do 1, 2, 3 through one guy. Get it? All right. So we started walking through what would this whole thing cost. And if it's the callers followed by Backlinking Crew that we set up for backlinking. One reason we want a Backlinking Crew also, we have our own projects for dispatch centers and other projects we simply want to put out for small businesses, just like Foxy Moron. Contact them, sell them websites, and then sell them promotions. Don't talk about backlinks, talk about promotions. We'll promote your site each week. We'll put your site out in all the obvious big high traffic spots. Okay, we'll get you in the game, right? So there you go. That becomes a recurring, and that's interesting. Or we just bundle it into the package so that it's even easier to sell. Okay, that's just finalizing on pricing for the sale. But let me point out what this is like. So we just broke it down. What would it take? Okay, let's say we needed a server because we're going to go big. We're just going to assume that we're going to have to get a server. We don't have to pay anything for SSL security certs. We got that for free. Let's say we set up a project, take a couple of grand to set up a proper project. Okay, something we can show off, and with this massive sitemap with all these different guys from around the nation who have lousy websites. Okay, because we can easily sift through the leads we get, drop the ones that are obviously have high domain authority, lots of pages on their website, and a beautiful website. We'll just drop them. Not that we have to. We actually shouldn't drop them. We should just put them into a different list. Because guys who do that level of work, they are open to more. They're open to bigger projects. Okay. So we always segregate our guys into groups. That's the whole point. So we've got guys without websites. We talk to them about getting a website. Guys who have a website, we separate between guys who have good ones and bad ones. Okay. So guys who have bad ones, we talk about upgrading their website so they can climb up onto the front page, which they cannot do with an old-fashioned website that's not mobile friendly, that has old stats, old coding, and no one's touched it in a while. And that's like half of every industry. How many of you guys were around when we randomly went somewhere like Reference USA and we randomly opened up some list of some industry and randomly opened some area and just started going through the websites one at a time? Every other one sucked. Do you remember that? It's so easy to forget that most people's websites are bad quality. You know why? Because we're always staring at the front page, aren't we? When we do a search. Those are the good quality websites. You open them, they look good, and you forget to go to page 2, page 3, page 4, and all those guys really desperately want to be on page 1, but their websites are ancient. They don't even know that matters. Okay? I mean, the opportunity is endless. Okay? It's so easy. So we started doing the math. What would it take to ramp up a cold calling crew? Well, here's what we have to do. We have to take a week, talk to a bunch of companies, figure out what they do and what they do in our arena. Just bounce off of them for a few days. Get a clue after talking to some companies and then decide on one. Now, once we do it, they're going to want a down payment. No company ever works just on a promise. They need some cash in hand. If you can't hand them anything, that means you don't really have anything going on. We have to have some cash to drop down. That pays a little for their overhead, for their electricity, for the coffee and the coffee cups, for the pitch in towards whatever else, electricity, water, and security and stuff. But the point is, these guys are going to start making calls. So there's going to be an expense for the calls to the company. They're going to use computers. So there's an expense for internet through the entire network of computers they have. Whoever starts hiring guys in a call center needs to start dropping cash into that call center for those, at least a share, right? Towards that. You got to pitch into the company to rent the guys. But then that means that we're going to rent like 10 people, okay? Like $250 for a week per guy. And we're going to pay their wage, their $12 an hour, okay? While we're paying their $12 an hour for a week times 10 guys, right? That's the ramp up. That's us teaching them how to do it. Now, they'll be able to make calls by the second day. One good day, 8 hours, just teach a topic, give a break, teach another. Now, that's on me. I need to do that. Walk them through the stuff because I know how the stuff gets sold over the phone. But then once I transfer that information to 10 guys who are calling these people, and believe me, HVAC guys, plumber guys, electricians, they're not techs. They're not asking massively serious questions. It's really, really easy to explain things to them and get them interested. It's not hard, okay? So by the time we're done, they're going to be averaging about 2 calls a day. Or 2 sales per day each, okay? They will be able to call through that list. Just call them. Like, even if you didn't have warm guys, if they just called this guy first, then that guy next, and that guy next, and that guy next, that guy next, and that guy next, and that's all they did, then for every 40, 45 no's, they're going to have a guy listening. Every, 3 or 4 guys who are listening and have to break off because something comes up, there's one guy who listens far enough along to say, you know what, I want that. That's a good idea. I want that. So all they have to make is 2 sales a day to do what? Well, to make a living for themselves, that's cool. And also for us, for it to be profitable. Now, it's profitable even at $195 a sale if only 2 guys buy per day. That's the wildness of it. And the whole thing works at that level. But guess what? Once these guys are doing that, we're talking about 20 sales a day. Again, we have endless leads, endless industries we can work on. 20 sales a day is cool. What do you think we have them do? We take some of the money, roll it back in, and raise it to 40 people. Or have our 10 guys each train another 4. Okay? So what is this for? Well, now the company's willing to let us pay less in because they're taking whatever they take out of everyone's sales anyway in the call center. So when we get these guys profitable, that's really good for the call center, which means the call center wants, and they're happy to take a smaller down in order to take another 40 guys and have those 10 train the next 40. Okay. Part of the reason we got to interview is to see what the capacity of companies are. We have to look for companies that have the capacity for 50 guys, that kind of thing, to get them going. Right. So then what? We got to pay the callers to train the other guys, like $500 bonus each to train 4 guys for a couple of days or even a week. Otherwise, there's no value in it for them. There has to be money for that, so there's $5K. Okay? And then hourly break-in cost. The extended base, these 40 guys have to hit the phones and start practicing and get better at it. That'll cost us about $9,600. Okay? That's this half. The other half will be coming from profits. We're literally ramping into a bigger team all at once, just as quickly as we can go, right? Think about it. This whole thing can take 3 weeks to be finished. And now we've got as many as 50 guys who can make 2 sales a day. It's 100 sales a day coming in. Okay. This is how Foxy Moron got huge. Okay. They offer websites, backlinking services to guys they just call, small companies, one after the next. Except they do all their stuff manually. We don't have to. We do it in an automated way that's so much better. Okay. Now, this is what we've been talking about as the cold calling crew, right? The guys who do the sales. Let's talk about the next guys, the backlinking crew ramp up. Okay. This is for backlinkers. We need about 10. Okay. Each of those guys can backlink properly work with about 20 websites per month. Okay, so we're going to do 1 month of kickoff, right? So if we do that, that's like $7 an hour times 8 hours a day times 5 days a week times 4.3 weeks a month times these 10 guys. Okay, that's what it would take to get 10 guys doing their job for 1 month, 20 websites each times 10 guys, 200 websites. That's like 100 locksmith websites and 100 GDR websites, huh? There you go. So we're killing all the birds with one stone as we grow forward. We are literally filling in every gap and growing straight up in the air from there. And it's beautiful. Okay. By doing that, we have this team ready for whatever we want to throw at them for the next month. Okay. New clients, new industries, everything we want to open up, dispatch centers and new industries, everything we want to open up, they're there for us. They're there for us. They're our crew. And they're there for us. They're our crew. They know how we get things sold. They know how things need to go, and it's exciting and cool. So they're able to make money because we can price it low and they can get good commissions. These guys are able and willing, and we taught them to do it our way. Okay, so they're doing it right. And we know how to make that ocean tide rise to raise all our ships. Okay, so by using a crew like that, we're able to get really big like Foxy Moron and all the other companies that are really big out there handling clients. On-site SEO crew. Now this is so much easier. Okay, we just need a few and give them some basic jobs to do. Okay, we got to pay them for a little bit of time to do some of the work right. Make sure that we like what they're doing because they have to learn our CMS. They have to understand how to improve the SEO on our websites. That's it. They're on-site SEO. So their job is going to be every week, do something smart with the websites that we have live because they can handle it. So we're going to get 4 guys. Why? Same reason we get 10 guys, same reason we get 10 guys. Because when you go for multiplicity, you don't get stuck with one dead end. If there's a guy who doesn't do it very well, there's another guy who does it better, and even another guy does it better yet, right? Of course, that's the whole point. We're doing the researching, interviewing, testing to make sure we train guys who know what they're doing, and then we're giving them some basic work and making sure they understand what's going on. And guess what that means? Now we have 4 guys. So each one can handle like 50 websites, okay, per member. So like for a month, okay, each of those 4 can handle 50. So if we got like 100 locksmith websites and 100 GDR websites, we can give 50 locksmith websites to one guy to do, another 50 to another guy to do, just to see who does the better job. Which stack of sites is starting to rank harder and better and stronger? And when we ask them what they're doing to the sites, or what they're going to do to the site, in the beginning, it's what do you plan to do? Later, when we trust them, it's what have you done, right? But there you go. Then we can actually see what they're doing and see who we like more, see who knows more about what they're doing, and they can become the leader training the rest, right? And we can expand. We can add more of these guys if we need them. Reality check is once these guys are rolling, any one of these guys could really handle 1,000 websites a month without question. 4 guys could handle 4,000 websites a month. Once we have this running, okay, then the monthly for that work would be like $200 a month. It'd be like $50 to each guy because it's only a few hours. But that would be like $2,400 annually, okay? And if we had that budgeted already, we don't have to think about it, okay? Just something to consider because this is really cool, simple, and easy. Reality check, of course, is as we get moving, these numbers will increase. Okay, as we get more websites, these numbers will increase. So we'll know that when that time comes. Okay, now, what are the costs of the goods sold? Like if we sell a website and somebody comes to a website installer and buys it, what's the cost? Well, there's like $5 towards support. There's like $1 for the gathered leads and the on-site company demo. Assuming we don't do any extra work, assuming there wasn't an upgrade at that point to move pages, which is something we'll offer on the side. That's its own service, right? It's a service, okay? Assuming that we're just talking about this part of it, then literally somebody else is buying the domain name through our system when they buy it. That extra little markup on the domain name is enough to cover the cPanel for the year. In other words, they're collectively covering the server cost for the next year. So the only true cost of each sale is $6. That leaves a lot of room for bonus payouts and commission and splits, even if we were just selling at $195 per template. And of course, we're going to raise that price, but in a cool way. See, the guys who are giving the demo are giving a demo on the websites without having to show that marketing page at all. And when somebody goes to, and they're like, how much? The guy can already feel them out and decide, depending on whether we have that guy on a fixed, or if he's allowed to float, he can send them to one website or another version of it, where the one has this price, price X, the other one has price Y, the other one has price Z. So it's the same thing. But if he feels like this guy's all excited and has the cash, he might send him to the website that's charging $495 for that website, and the guy will be all happy to buy it for $495. But if he's talking to someone who's like, oh, I'd love it, but I'm kind of iffy because I don't have enough cash coming in, I didn't get enough sales last week, all I can swing, when he's like, what's your budget? And the guy's like, $250 maybe. He's like, tell you what, I can do you a deal then. I can get it for you. It's your lucky day for $195 because I like you. I got a coupon code. I'm going to send you here. You can buy it. Why do we offer that? So that the sales guy doesn't lose the sale over the phone. He doesn't lose the time. The amount of time and effort he puts into a guy, he should be able to get something for it, some kind of commission. That starts if he can over the website for lowball. $195, you know how lowball that is? Usually the HTTPS functionality costs $75. And the hosting account costs typically $100 if they buy it from some company, let's say $50. 75 plus 50 is $125. So that just saves, like $70 for the entire website. And it's already pre-filled out with good starter information. This is not lorem ipsum. It is useful information, and it talks about that company, okay? Literally that company. Every page talks about its own company on all those pages, right? Gorgeous, okay? So let me just walk through this. We could be calling 504 leads per hour. We can gather 5,000 leads an hour. So we can keep tons of these guys busy with calls. That's like this many calls per month, which is just cycle through an industry, cycle through another one. That's like an industry. I mean, each month we can work a different industry and just go in circles, right? We can set up the projects for every next industry and open it up to new cold callers. All right. So the cost to manage, fixed cost per sale, assuming 2 per day, and it's like, $96 a day, they make it $12 an hour, so the cost for one is $48 in the calls that they make, 4 hours of calling. Their commission could be $100, okay? And that means that each sale costs us $148 in that sense, right? But that literally we can choose our price. I mean, the $195 we have right now is for the fun of it. You know what the commission per sale would be for a $195 website? Should be like $50, maybe $25. The point is, we'll give them options so they can move forward with it. But here we go. How many cold callers do we want a day? It depends on how many positions we buy into this project to kick this off, because we need to raise money now for the cold callers. Well, the cold callers to set up the calling crew that we're going to have forever for all of our projects. It becomes part of our operations. And the backlinking crew, which becomes forever part of our operations. So we're outsourcing the calls, outsourcing the backlinking to guys who know what we want of them and expect of them. And they treat us like an absolutely high-level preferred client because we're going to wind up sending them most of their business, right? We're going to groom them and then feed them, okay? So anyway, If the average website sale price, including everything's like $4.95, which is going to be typical because it's going to include some different benefits that are going to be offered out, and it costs how much for a new domain, blah, blah, blah. Here's the point I want to make about some numbers. Getting all of this built and locked and loaded will take about 60 grand total. Okay, that's at this level. What does 60 grand mean? It means we have 50, that's 50 trained cold callers calling at the same time all day long, guy after guy after guy after guy after guy, to show them the demos that are already finished for all those companies. Talk about amazing. That's so cool. And at the same time, we have 10 backlinkers who can each handle 20 websites a month. And so that means 200 websites a month are getting done. 1 month, 200 websites, proper backlinking throughout the internet. And we have 4 on-site SEO guys trained up, and they're already paid out for the full year, or at least the money's there. We're not going to just hand it to them. They're going to earn it. But the point is, they will come and do consistent backlinking or consistent updates through our stacks, and we're going to pay them for that. Okay. That means that we're constantly keeping up our websites with somebody paying close human attention to the quality of the on-site SEO. Okay. Different crews, right? No one group doing all the work. We don't want that. Separation of powers is why. So this crew is different than that crew, which is different than that crew. But all their work goes back and forth in a very simple way. It's very easy to make that happen and make it sensible. Okay? So we need to raise 60 grand. Now I'm going to break down what that means. Profit at this level, gross profit per sale would be like 341 bucks per sale. Okay? Gross profit per workday is that. Okay? That's a lot. 34,363 is the profit per work day. So in 1 month, you're talking about 687,269 bucks. An annual profit of like 8 million. Now, before that sounds bizarre, let me remind you, this is how Foxy Moron got from 0 to 40 million, from the point of starting their company from scratch to reaching 40 million a year in sales in 11 years. Okay? That's no joke. All right? So what is the investor share? If we had an investor coming in at 10%, then they would be earning like so. I'm just making a point because yours is different. Positions that are getting bought into this are different. So when we were talking about the idea of talking to an investor, here's what it looked like. If an investor would give us a chunk against 10%, we're asking 50 grand to 75 grand against 10% first year profits, asking for no required repayment of the original investment, but the investor return can be like 500 grand or higher for the first year without much risk. That's a 7 times to 10 times ROI. And then, of course, we just have to reassess what we do the next year. Year to year, we have to reassess. That's always going to be true. Okay, mastering this will make phase 2 easy to fund and expand, and investors at this level will be first call for phase 2. Here's the thing. We were originally talking to the kind of guy who could be big clients who are interested in this until we realized we don't want to teach them our business. We want to stick with our own grassroots guys who don't want to know. They just want us to do it, and they want to get their cut. They want to get paid for helping us make this thing work. So founders. And that's you guys. Here's how this works. Percent of founder share. 50% of the profits we take in. That means the wheels are oiled and greased. The sales guys get their commissions. They walk away with theirs. We walk away with ours. At 50% payouts to the position owners, guys who own in on this project. Okay? Your earnings per day at 50% could be that crazy. Well, that's how much comes in through the positions altogether. $17K per day. Okay. Founder earnings per month. Okay. So then per a full year could literally be in the millions. Why do we want to even give that kind of power out? Because we've already found this out. We thrive on our grassroots. The guys who buy into us, let us grow, and buy into us more to keep growing, have propelled us to a point where we're here now. And it's as big as we've ever imagined being. We still need more cash to survive. We hemorrhage a lot of cash in development. We always did. For 11 years, we kept developing. But we made a monster, and everyone knows it. Everyone who understands what we made realizes it's a monster that's unparalleled, and that right now we're just underground. No one even knows we're here. So this is like crowdfunding, where you guys get a chunk of the profits for helping us launch to the next level. What is the next level? We have our own sales crew, sales force. We have our own backlink crew. And we have our own just on-site SEO crew, which no one cares about. But the point is, once we're that far up, we're as big as you can get. Okay, everything else beyond that is just a couple of programmers, developers, and designers here and there, which is easy, right? We can always get more of those guys just to fill in and create more variability throughout the structure. No problem. That's not even development anymore. That's just creating new templates and stuff, right? So here's what's going on. We're going to put out the positions, and as a matter of fact, I made them live for those of you who know how to get them already, all right? And the payouts per position will come to something like this. Payout per day, about 143. Now, we're not going to actually physically make the payment every single day. That's kind of hard. That's a pain in the neck. But I think we're going to wind up doing it on Sunday nights so that Monday is cool instead of a pain in the neck. You get to wake up on Monday, you got paid. Now, that won't be a day. That'll be 5 of these, right? Whatever they are. I'm not going to guarantee the number's 143. All of this is just following the math, right? It's the 50% that we get, then 50% gets split through all the positions, and you get your cut of that per position you own. This isn't per person, it's per position. If you have one position, okay, then you're getting like 5 of that would be what? It's what, oh, that's neat. It's like 700, you know? If you have 2 positions, it's more. And that's like what you could be earning per week. Again, this will not take time to ramp up. This isn't like building up traffic for a dispatch center, you know, where you got to wait for someone to drop their keys and then they pick up a cell phone and hopefully they choose you. That's one thing. But if we are actively contacting an endless stream of clients in every industry to offer them a better website and services at a price they can afford, then this is where we just get to name our income. It gets to happen fast. Our calling crew gets to make an amount. Like on their first sale, they can make $50. On the second sale, on the same day, they can make 75. On the third sale, they can make 100. On the fourth sale, if they pull that off, they can get 150. And if they happen to get more sales in a single day, they can be 150 per day. Do the math on how much a cold caller can earn, or a sales guy when he's calling, and he's incentivized. It is the best offer he's ever had. It's a simple explanation, easy to spend the time on the phone with the guys who obviously need this website. There's service guys too, regular service guys. Half of them don't have enough business. If they're just sitting there waiting for a call to come in so they can go to a house, that makes it's so much easier to talk to them, right? And so this is cool. And while they're doing that, we're making money. So we want a bunch of them doing something like that. We'll figure out the final numbers, but this is the idea. So your monthly per position could be something like that, pushing 3K a month just per position, okay? 6K a month if you get 2 positions, right? 9K a month if you get 3 positions. So per year, if you had 3 positions, you might be pushing 100 grand a year, first year. And we always talk about the first year. We got to reassess the second. But when we start this and get this launched, it'll run for a year once it's up and running, okay? Before we decide where we are after a year. Now, what I decided was this, and this is the thing that's pretty cool. How does this work? As most of you guys know, you got to log into Get Trial Leads under the LPE owner section and pick up positions that are available. For those of you guys with fire, flooding, HVAC, and mold, go check. If you got those positions, at least 2 across that stack, there's some bonuses in there you're going to want to see. So go check out your holdings and you'll see what I mean. Okay. Now, for those of you who, Locksmith and GDR, this whole thing is about getting the crew that takes care of all the backlinking that forces those websites to take off for sure. Okay. That's awesome, right? That's what we can do. Even for you guys from way back there is a bonus that's coming around for you even now. And that's awesome. It's just going to make things happen so much faster than ever, right? So one thing we never had was a backlinking crew, let alone a cold calling crew, which is going to just make so much money. It's not funny. Now, here's the thing. Let's get back to this to make this make sense. I was talking about these different industries we can launch, right? And just get calling everyone, right? And start selling the sites. Okay. By the way, I offered this one website to a nursing home for $4,800 and they might get it. Just one sale. Okay. Talk about the crazy money that comes out of this just by offering. Okay. So how do you do this? Here's the page that explains it. You can pause this video now, right? If you have not done it yet, sign up here. If you haven't already, sign up here. gettrialleads.com/LPE. It's kind of funny history, right? When we first started this website, it had one purpose. We've repurposed it. Now it just holds all the information for everything we do. It's organized, okay? All the job IDs for any jobs and stuff is in there. It's organized. So it's kind of an odd name. We'll get around to putting this on a new website later, but mostly it's for guys behind the scenes anyway. /LPE, that's landing page expansion project. That's like the original way you could log in there. All right. Now, make sure to put this final slash. If you don't, the page does a security thing against bad bots, so it tries to go here, which doesn't exist. You'll get a 404 error. Okay. So in order to force it not to do that, put a slash. That way you will see the form. Very simple form. Okay. So this is that link. And the form's easy. What's your first and last name? What's your email address? Phone number? Country? Okay. Address. We don't really need your street address. You can supply it if you want. We don't need it. But because we're registered in the state of Washington, we have to know at least a city. So a city and a state, you know, not Portland, Maine, but Portland, Oregon. So yeah, city and state. Okay. And we just ask for a zip code because that's a really quick way to go about it. Okay. And then submit it. That's free and you're in the system. So then what? Then you can log in. So following the instructions, here's where you're going to go from now on. You're going to go to gettrialleads.com/admin. Okay. You're logging in like admin. Again, Get Trial Leads by itself is a back-end project. More than anything, it's a back-end project. All right, so admin, you're going to log in the back end, right? Use your email, the one you signed up with, and the code you were given when you signed up. You're going to be given a code. It'll show up in the green box, okay? So then sign in there. That's where you go from now on. GetTrialLeads.com/admin. No need to come back here anymore. You only do this once to sign up. Then you're done with it. And you forever go to GetTrialLeads.com/admin. Okay. Now that's this page. Okay. When you get here, you can log in as an LPE owner. There are other ways you can log in that have different purposes, but we're going to go LPE owner. Okay. When you do that, there's the email and the password and login. Piece of cake. Now, when you log in, you're not going to see anything that you have because you don't have anything yet. So there's just two links you really care about right now is these two, edit information and LPE websites. This other stuff is just sort of older stuff. That's specific to different groups. Like you're going to get news on these projects for things that do come up. Okay. You could join Moji here. Okay. This is something totally on the side. All right. This is interesting for those of you who like that. But what you're interested in right now is you want to edit the information and then go get positions, which is LPE websites. This is just what we call them. All right, so here we go. Let's take a look. This is your edit information page. you basically already added a chunk of this, and there's your password, which you could change, update. Okay, and just remember what it is. If you change it, The biggest thing you're going to want to do here, your PayPal account. As we get cash, we're going to do payments, probably mass payments in PayPal. Now, some of you guys are overseas and you cannot do PayPal. Fine. We'll put you into a special category and we'll take care of you separately, even if it means a bank transfer, because, we can do that anywhere in the world. Okay. But PayPal account. All right. And we already do that. We make PayPal transfers. We make them, India, Pakistan, so on. Anywhere works with bank transfers, so no problem. You can be involved. For most of you, PayPal account's fine, right? So just put in your PayPal account information. If you don't have a PayPal account, go get one. It's worth it. Most guys have a PayPal account by now, and you're going to want one if you don't have one. Now, your PayPal account will look like an email address. It is whatever you use for your PayPal account, which often is different than your email address. So that's why these are two different boxes, okay? And then if you want, put in a Skype username if you have it. Why? Just, it's quicker and easier to contact you. If, for instance, we're asking you, oh, hey, payment's coming. Should we go put it here or there because I couldn't understand something, who knows what. Then it's just easier to communicate with you here. Now it's up to you, and you can hit update. By the way, may as well leave the notification alerts on yes. You could put it on no. It just means you don't get emails when we put out latest news. But if we put out latest news and you want to be notified when that applies to you, leave this on yes, okay? And hit update. Okay, that takes care of editing the information. What have we got? This is the meat and potatoes. Here's where it all hits. You're going to hit LPE websites. And you're going to see positions if they still exist. Now, an inner group was given the chance to buy into some of these positions already, and they've already done that. They've already gotten a number. And we put more out too, because if we keep expanding, for those of you that choose to keep getting into it, we will get more cold callers, more backlinkers, and grow faster. That means 50 guys calling a day, 60 guys calling a day, 70 guys calling a day. It's a really, really big deal. It's a co-op too. The cool thing is this. It's a co-op project. That means this. These are not real URLs. And you may have figured that. marketing-expansion.com/ whatever it is, 6, 9, 10, 17. These are not real URLs. They represent positions in a project. It's just that when we did this originally, the system expects URLs. So we just put them in here in that format. But yes, whenever you claim any of these and you get it with your $500 payment for any of these, it puts it on your dashboard. You own it. It's yours, right? That's your tracking of your assets, okay? This is what we pay you against, whichever ones you have. By the way, it does not matter which ones you get. They're equal value. They are all tier 5 level. That just simply means they're in a single group. Okay, that's all it means, is that they're in a single group that with a payment of $500 each. They cost the same amount, so they're all the same value in a shared project, okay, where you're getting as many as you want. And that is for this industry that covers the sales team, the SEO, and the backlinking. That is the marketing expansion project that we're doing. That's going to allow us to just perpetually grow forward from here. Now, the investor that we have, and I'm not going to say who, as soon as we get 30 grand worth of these picked up, that means 60 shares get picked up, they will add 15. That $15,000, the same as 30 shares of their own, except that's not in the shares. That's separate. They totally don't earn from it. Okay? So they are going to add that as a goodwill measure. Okay? Now, why 50%, by the way? Because we are going to keep using the profits that we're taking in to keep pushing out and growing projects that we have to make this stuff even stronger and better, because we can do it now. We can really do this. This can really get big fast. All right? What is it? It's May, early May. By June, you're talking like 3.5 weeks from now. If we get funded, and we can start doing the first things, we're going to reach out and start doing the first things, okay? We're going to get this happening pretty quickly. What that means is we're going to be able to do it. We're going to be able to get callers. We're going to be able to get backlinkers. We're going to be able to get them up and going. But 30K is the marker where somebody adds 15K more. Let's make that happen and make it happen quick. And by the way, don't lose your opportunity to get these things. These are gold. What you are buying are positions that get covered by a sales team calling leads like those, okay? The ones on the sitemaps, and the SEO guys doing on-site SEO stuff on a consistent basis so the websites are constantly being updated, and a true backlinking crew doing manual backlinks, not automated, proper backlinking done our way. For example, press release article is a variation of the print on the website, but not exact. It's going to have 3 links on it. It's going to have a link out somewhere in the first paragraph that's going to link out to who knows where, Wikipedia. Then second link out is going to be further down, middle of the article. That's going to link directly to our site. Then a third link going somewhere totally different. Why? Because when you do links like that, then Google loves it. You are sharing the wealth and the juice, and Google wants to reward you for that. You actually do better by backlinking to multiple external sources with your promotions, okay? Then aside from that, regular listings. What if we had a backlinking crew put 100, 200 even Yelp accounts up for us, okay? And yeah, some of that money can go into copywriting so that we can take care of things like remarks and reviews and so on, okay? What if we're doing that with multiple websites all at once for Merchant Circle, Mana, Yellow Pages? We are going to clean up shop. Dispatch center calls are going to just pour in because we're everywhere all at once. We're everywhere people are looking all at once. Not just Google, everywhere people are looking all at once. And all the backlinks, okay? All this stuff leads to getting us sudden rank, more traffic, and the ability to expand just quickly. See, what I want to do is move past 100 websites to 200, 500, 1,000. We can do that. But in order to do that in a sensible way, let's start by backlinking the ones we have, right? That gets everyone paid on those projects as well as allows us to keep expanding so we can start to really compete. Okay, our biggest client, 7,000 websites, okay? Taking in $250,000 a month. 7,000 websites. We have a paltry 100 compared to that. Let's make it bigger. Okay? There you go. That's what we're doing. Guys, I'm going to leave you with this right now. I got to break off. I got to drive kids to Seattle for their practice. So I just want to say this. Do it. Don't let me down. Don't let yourself down. Because if you followed along this far and you want to know where we go from here to start hitting retirement money for all you guys that backed us this far, I'm telling you, you have no idea how much I appreciate it. Some of you do know. I mean, we have had these conversations and I've helped some of you guys along the way as best I can because you guys made it possible to get here. But now we're at a point where instead of trying to grovel for Foxymoron to take us on, we can just do our own thing and straight compete with them without even competing outright. They don't even know that we're thinking about it, right? It's just us doing our job. We do it better, okay? So we can start by getting cold callers, these guys that they can just start contacting, just endless supply in every industry. There's for the roofing, just having contact all those guys. Get nursing home going, having contact those guys. There's so much money to make in this entire stack, okay? So if you followed us this far, last push gets us a calling crew and a backlinking crew. That's the purpose of it. And we have a guy who's willing to put 15K in if we put in 30K. You know what that 15K means all by itself? Just the 15K? The backlinking crew is 12K. On-site SEO is going to take like 400 plus 2,400 for a year. That's 2,800. You add those together, 12K and 2,800, you got 14,840. That's like 15 grand, right? Just their gift gives us that. Okay? And the rest of the money goes into the cold caller crew. So we can have 10 to 40, therefore 50 or more people calling right next to each other and taking incoming calls right next to each other. Okay. There you go. And by the way, that's how that's going to work too. All these links, when we reproduce them, the phone number at the bottom of the page, instead of saying me, the phone number for him to call, and we'll move it up. That phone number here, we'll move it up. I'm kind of hiding. Like I say, I can't take 20 calls at once. But this is going to rotate through those sales guys, right? It's just going to rotate through them. So whoever wants to give a call is going to be calling them. They're going to get inbound and outbound calls. And we need 20 to 50 of those guys neck and neck, being able to answer the calls in real time as they come in and wrap up those deals. Lock and load those guys, wrap up those deals. Get it? Piece of cake. And it'll get all of us paid, and everyone will be happy to keep rolling with that day in and day out. And we'll just expand from there. Okay? This is the best thing ever that we've ever done, and it's the best next step for us to take. It's the right step for us to take. So guys, come in, get going, and make it happen. Pick up these positions, and let's get rolling with this thing. And that's it. All of you guys who roll in with this, you're going to be in with this. This is going to pay 50% out on sales for the first year. We'll reassess past that. But in the meantime, we're going to have a backlinking crew, cold calling crew. You guys are going to be earning from it on the inside like the founders you've been, pushing us all the way up to this level and therefore taking half of the profits, based on your investment. If I was taking it all from one guy, if one of you guys come in here and just start buying these full speed because you want them first, I can't stop you. I won't. It's whoever wants to do it, right? The only guys I don't want buying these positions are competitors who want us to work directly for them so they can learn our ways. That's it. All right. Okay. Yeah, it's a co-op. Everyone earns from everyone's help, and we can make this whole thing work just on large numbers. Get the callers and the backlinkers rolling at the same time, and it will just roll uphill. This isn't backlinking by guys who are volunteering to do the work to earn commission from sales. No, these guys are getting paid to do a job and do it the way we say. So we have the power to tell them to do it right, and we want to see their results, and they will do it right. So they keep getting paid. And in the meantime, cold callers will keep getting more work in the door so we can just keep expanding. Okay? There you go. That's it. That's the whole thing. Guys, leap in, start getting them. They're open. The gate is open. You can roll with this anytime you want. The sooner this is done, the sooner we launch. Okay? If this actually got taken care of this week, and yes, it's totally possible. It's Wednesday. All of these could be gone by Monday. They could be. And if they are, or even just enough of them, boom, it'll be enough. And we're going to start doing it. We're going to hit cold callers first, backlinkers next. That's the order of priority. Okay? We'll just move with what you guys give us to work with, but move quick and we'll grow quick and this whole thing will happen. All right.